Alright, we're going.
Alright, welcome to a special edition of Fantasy Trash Talk 101 DC Money Edition. I am your host, Team Jaws, aka Jason Moore.
I'm Gary Meyer, aka USMC. How's it going, Jason?
Good job. Very good. First time on the video, so good to have you here.
Yes.
New surrounding, new environment, but this is a special edition because we're in the playoffs finally.
Finally.
What we're going to do is we're going to go over both the matchups. Obviously, two teams are on bye. We're going to go on both the matchups, Pain King versus Vulcan Raider, and also Charger versus USMC. Kind of talk about the players like we usually do, and what we think is going to happen, and how we think the rest of the playoffs are going to go.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's jump right into it with Pain King versus Vulcan Raider. Your thoughts?
Oh, man. Gabe, for the first time, I think he's actually going to win. Usually I think he's going to lose.
Yeah.
Pain Game, man, with some bad choices. You know, playing Reese over top of McFadden.
I mean, you got to stay on top of your lineup. That's the one thing, especially in the playoffs. I mean, I say it, week 2, stay on top of your lineup. But we're sitting here in the playoffs. This is lose, you go home, people. So I mean, you don't keep up with it. He usually does, sets his lineup around Sunday.
Yeah.
But there's Thursday night games.
Exactly.
So I mean, you got to pay attention to that. Playing Marcel Reese when McFadden's in.
Reese has upside for the receptions, but you can't bench the starting running back.
No, you play Reese while McFadden is out, and McFadden comes in, you take Reese out.
I mean, plain simple. That's all right. Maybe next year, Pain Game.
You got 3.7 points to show for it. So.
Yeah.
On the bench, he did have a McFadden on the bench putting up 17 points.
Of course, and again, we have Gabe with 21.2 for Hayward Bay on the bench.
Exactly. The only thing that you can say good about that, yes, it sucks to have someone put up over 20 points on your bench. The only thing is we haven't seen his other receivers play.
True.
Now, he has a receiver go out and score 4 points, then we can laugh even harder.
Yes.
All right?
And Clark Bolden. Of course, I mean, they're playing Washington, but I think they're going to stick with Rice in this one.
Right.
He does have Rice, though. He has great Rice against Washington.
I do like that. Washington's kind of shaky on the run defense.
Yep.
On the other side of the ball, RG3 going up against a shattered Baltimore defense. Let's run through the shirt real quick. Webb, Lewis, obviously, Suggs, and Ed Reed are all 4 of their starting core defenses out.
Done.
So RG3, have a field day on that one.
Yes.
Look on the other side, back to Pain Gang. Eric Decker putting up 16.8. That's respectable. It's not it's not exactly what you
He
want.
was projected like 23.
Right.
So, I mean, it's nothing to cry about, really. 16 points is still, a decent amount of points.
Well,
I'd be happy with that.
One thing that I always say is that you want over 15 points for your wide receivers during the regular season. That's respectable. That's a given. Playoffs, you want over 20.
You want 20. You gotta have it.
So the 16 might come back on him. It might not. I think it will because, like you said, I think Vulcan Raider is going to take this one.
I mean, as far as running backs, like I said, he already took a hit with Reese. He still has Trent Richardson against, KC defense that is absolutely nothing. It hasn't been there all season long.
That's a very good point.
However, we're talking about benches too. Don't forget, Gabe's got an empty spot on his bench.
That's
Vulcan
true.
Raider didn't. What happened?
And there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Nothing you do about it now. You got an empty spot. You get a hurt player. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. I mean, go up and pick someone up. Like pick anybody up. You went up and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But you went up and picked up people.
You've got to have a backup quarterback.
You got to have a full roster.
You got to have a backup quarterback. He doesn't have one. He's got RG3 who likes to run the ball. Concussion, you're out, dude. Got to keep on top of that, man.
Yep. The winner of this game will go on to play Kawasaki, who's got a bye week. He's sitting pretty. Doesn't have to do anything this week.
What an upgrade from last year, right?
I know.
He did much better this year. I'm proud of him.
Yep. So with that being said, I do have to get this Vulcan Raider. I think it's going to be Vulcan Raider going against Kawasaki.
I think so too, and that'll be a good game.
Yes, it will. So, all right, moving on.
Next up, we got Charge It versus me, USMC.
Yep. The powerhouse, man. Look, projected total, guys, 206 points already. He already played 1. No Sean Moreno, 37.3 points.
And that's what put me over 200 projected.
Yeah.
I was at like 193, but Moreno, dude, he was amazing.
I mean, 206 points. Like, when you're projected that in the playoffs, don't you just get this warm, fuzzy feeling inside? Now, I will say something, and because it is my mom, I have to say something. I am very proud of my mom, just like you said about Kawasaki. She has never made the playoffs in any of my leagues. She's in playoffs in both leagues, and we'll get to the other one, of course, on the other video. But congratulations to Mom. However, this is not looking good for this matchup, and I'll tell you why. Not only did Moreno put up 37.3, but you also got Doug Martin going up.
Oh, I guess that's shitty
Against
Philly.
Philly defense. So I see at least 40 there.
I hope.
I really do.
He's definitely going to have at least 30. It's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
He's projected 33. I think he's going to hit 30, definitely.
like I said about wide receivers being 15 and 20 in the playoffs. I think running backs should be 20 and 25 in the playoffs.
Have to be.
And I think Doug Martin is going to get over 25 points.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
Let's talk about who you picked up. You did go after Freeman.
I did pick up a backup quarterback, like I said, because I got Stafford. He's in, he's out. This week they're going against Green Bay, and I'm actually going with Freeman against Philly. I mean,
You are playing.
I am playing Freeman against
Over
Philly.
Stafford, right?
Over Stafford,
Right.
only because the last outing they had with Green Bay, Stafford got his ass handed to him.
Yeah, and Green Bay's defense is kind of like, you know, they're not up there, they're not down there, they're kind of in the middle, but when they want to show up, they will show up.
Right. However, they are missing Clay Matthews.
That's true.
So, you know, they might not get enough pressure on Stafford. He might do really well, and it could hurt me. However, Freeman against Philly, I mean, it's
a no-brainer.
I agree. I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet. You know what I mean?
In my mind, you know, you go with Stafford. Stafford's established, he's good. Freeman's still kind of like, you know, but Freeman can put up numbers, and like you said, it's against Philly. I go with Freeman too.
Cool.
Absolutely. I do like the Chris Gibbons pickup though. I really do like that.
Amendola's been hurt ever since his collarbone. He hasn't really made a comeback since. He was great at the beginning of the season. I kept saying his name. You guys didn't know who he was.
Yep.
Then everybody knew who he was, and he got hurt.
Well, everybody really knew who he was when he did get hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Because we were like, who's got him? Oh yeah, Gary.
Yeah. And I took some hits for that too, man. But
Yeah, but you did pick up Gibbons. Chargers, on the other hand, has Rodgers, who we were just talking about. You know, going up against Detroit's defense, kind of, you know, hit or miss on their defense. So Rodgers could have put up numbers.
Mhm.
And then she's got Brian and Witten. You know, so
Dude, Witten and Bryant, I mean, they saved her last week.
yes, they
You
did.
know what I mean?
Yep.
She only won by like 2.5 points.
Yep.
But, you know, those guys, she would have lost about those two.
You know, and if Witten puts up the numbers that he did on that Monday night game a couple weeks ago, you know, that could give you a run for your money. So
Oh, yeah.
you never know. The projections, are projections, people. So you never know
That's right.
what's going to happen. You know, Gibbons and Doug Martin could get hurt on the first play. You
Sure.
have no idea. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
but if I did have to go with pure talent, I'm not even going to look at projections on this one. I'm going to say it's going to be a very close game. I'm saying within 10 points, but I still am going to give it to USMC. I'm still going to give it to you, Gary.
I hope Rodgers does well. I hope Chargers does well. I hope Rodgers does well and only throws to Randall Cobb. That'll help me out. But, all right, man.
Yeah.
So the projections are 169 to 206.
Yep.
I am favored to win. And the winner of this game will be going up against Team Z, the new guy this year.
Yep.
He made it, you know, right into the bye week.
Now,
He's got a crushed team.
Yes,
I
he
feel
does.
really bad for him.
he's got, what, is it 3 or 4 that are on Jacksonville?
3 or 4. I think it might be
It's
4.
3 or
I think
4
it's
players that are on Jacksonville. They're beat up. They're, you know, they're
just
going up
lost-
against Houston, by
Well-
the way, next week.
I will say this though. I just traded him Blackman last week,
Right.
and
Which
we
you
were
really
making
appreciate.
fun of him. We were making fun of him. Cecil Shorts is out with concussion. Blackman's
No
going to be
kidding.
the #1 receiver. So
All
he
right,
did get
well-
lucky in that one, you know, and we'll see what
Well,
happens.
that's this week.
That's this
And
week.
he's not playing this week.
He's not playing this week.
So Cecil
However,
Shorts will come back.
concussions, as we know in the NFL, become very serious, and it's very rare they come back before 3 games.
Well, that's definitely something to look at and make sure that he does come, or that he does or doesn't come back, depending on who you're going for by next week.
I do want to do one more thing before we cut off.
All right. Just to recap, we got Volcom Raider going against Kawasaki and USMC going against Team Z.
Just to
There
recap,
it
I
is,
want to make
guys.
sure everybody sees it.
There's the trophy.
You know, the USMC down there, that's me.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it again this year, so.
Well, you got to get to the Super Bowl and win it first. So.
Yes, that is true.
But if I had to project right now, we said Volcom Raider, Kawasaki. I say the winner of that game will be Kawasaki. USMC, Team Z. It depends on that one. That one's going to be close. I'm going to have to
Z?
give it to you.
I think Z's team's too busted up.
And that would put you against Kawasaki in the Super Bowl.
I know.
And I'm not even going to talk about that.
And he
because
beat
we're
me
not gonna
last
get
year.
that, because we'll get that next week.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. As always, good luck to everybody that's in it. Everybody that's not, enjoy watching the games.
Thanks for playing, guys.